Hello students, my name is Mr. Dhawale, Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Sri Rampur. In today's topic, we are going to discuss about Bredts Rule. Bredts Rule. In this case, this is one of the rule used in case of stereochemistry of fused bridge and cage ring systems, and in that case we say it's a statement like we cannot generate double bond at bridge head carbons, or we write here bridge head positions. Okay, this is one of the simple rule which is used in the bridge ring systems or cage ring systems, and here we take so many examples in such a type of rings having there is a formation of double bond, but we doesn't get such a type of double bond in that ring system. So as to we check why that double bond is not formed, and according to the Bredt, there is one of the name of scientist, he gives some explanation regarding this and such type of rules, and so that we call this is the Bredts Rule. Okay, simply here we take one example. Suppose this is one of the compound, and here when we use base, at that time the molecule which can abstract in general cases, which can abstract the proton which is adjacent to the carbonyl group, so that there is formation of some kind of double bonds, as we call these are the enol or enolate ion, but here there is no reaction is observed, and so that according to this, here this carbonyl group or this base which can't abstract the proton present on bridge head carbon atom, so that there is no elimination reaction is observed. When we abstract this proton, at that time it will give here and it will form double bond at the center, and this bromine will leave out very easily, and there is formation of alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl group, but here that possibility is not seen. Okay, suppose what is the mechanism for that? If the reaction is possible, or if the reaction is work out, if that base which can abstract this proton, it will generate double bond, and we eliminate this. So we write here Br minus, okay, and minus of H2O, so that we get here the removal of HBr is overall our output, and in this case here we get your product like this. Okay, if the reaction is possible, but this type of product we doesn't get, not formed. Why this product we doesn't get? Because the double bond we generated which is present at the bridgehead carbon atom, and that is not possible. Why? Because the carbon atom which is present on the junction or at bridgehead position, there the presence of lone pair on that double bond are not in such a manner which is acceptable for the formation of double bond, so that that double bond is not formed at this junction and there is no planarity is maintained, and such a planarity doesn't we arrange in this case, so that if we can see here that carbon atom is sp2 hybridized. Okay, so here we see this is the sp2 hybridized carbon atom, and according to our ordinary conditions which are favorable, or what is the geometry of that double bonded carbon atom, which is trigonal planar, and that trigonal planar geometry is not maintained or not present in such a type of cases, so that the coplanarity is not maintained in this case, so that we have such a question which gives the answer why that double bond is not formed. Okay, so here you remember that where there is no formation of double bond, why? Because the coplanarity is not maintained, or such a type of trigonal planar geometry is not maintained or not present in this case, so that there is not formation of double bonds. Okay, so that rule is only applicable for some size range of the fused or bridge ring systems. Okay, means what? The rule which is not applicable to all the rings or all the type of fused rings. Okay, so it has some limitations. It has some limitations when that rule is work and when it can be violated. Okay, so you remember what are the conditions for that. Okay, so here first we take one equation: bicyclo 222 octane 2,6-dione does not shows the acidic property of 1,3-diketone as like 1,3-diketone. Suppose we take here one example 222. So here 2 2 2. Okay, 2,6-dione. Okay, so this is the actual structure of that compound. Okay, here bicyclo we write 222 octane 2,6-dione. Bicyclo 222 octane 2,6-dione. Okay, so this is the name of this compound, and having bridgehead carbon atom, and here we see here one proton which is able to abstract, and that proton is much acidic in case of 1,3-diketone. Suppose we take as like this one, when we break these bonds and we get here this type of structure. Okay, suppose you see it as like we mention in this case. Okay, suppose this is 1,3-diketone and having here presence of 2 protons, and as like this one, these protons, these 2 protons are highly acidic. Why? Because adjacent to that, these are the alpha position for both of this carbonyl group, and that's why oxygen, which is highly electronegative and electron withdrawing group, so that the acidic property of this proton, and that protons are highly acidic, you know, so that such a type of acidic protons are also present on this position. Why? Because the reaction condition is overall same. Why? Because here the second position, and from this carbon atom where the hydrogens are present which are highly acidic, here the second position is occupied by the carbonyl group on the adjacent carbon atom, so that condition is also fulfilled in this structure, but that proton is not acidic. Okay, so why that proton is not acidic? Why? Because that proton is present on the bridgehead carbon atom. At that time, any base doesn't abstract this proton. Why? Because if the proton is abstracted, then there is formation of enolate ion, and that enolate ion contain double bond. So that here, according to Bredts rule, we can't generate double bond at the bridgehead position, and that violation of that Bredts rule is seen in this case. So as to we see here, this proton is not acidic, okay, and so that proton is not abstracted as like which is seen in this type of open chain structure 1,3-diketone, where these protons are highly acidic and so as to which can abstract very easily. Okay, so you remember student, such a type of cases having the fused ring system where the properties which are seen in the open chain structures are not seen in the such a type of complex structure, or having the bicyclic or tricyclic systems where the bridgehead carbon atom, and at that time it shows a different property as compared to the normal one. So you remember how it will possible, and there what rules we use here. So here all about the Bredts rule, and we have as I said here, we have so many examples as like this. Okay, so here another compound camphenic acid. Camphenic acid is another example which is also seen as like this one. So here two methyl groups are there, and here we have acidic group on that carbon atom which is bridgehead, and here this is camphenic acid. Okay, you see, and here also there is no reduction is occur, okay, or decarboxylation is not occur in this case also. Why? Because if the removal of carbon dioxide is observed, that proton is present on this carbon atom, and it can be rearranged like this by losing this carbon dioxide. But in this case here, there is formation of double bond in that mechanism, so that such a type of decarboxylation is not seen in this case, so that the product we doesn't get. Okay, and also in case of catapenic acid, in catapenic acid also such a type of structure we have. Okay, so here we seen this type of carbonyl group, and here we have, suppose we draw the catapenic acid in this structure also. So here this is the simple structure of catapenic acid, having carbonyl group which is adjacent to the bridgehead carbon atom, and on that bridgehead carbon atom we have acid group as like this one, but only this moiety which can be transferred here. Okay, you see here this is catapenic acid, and both examples are somewhat similar, only the arrangement of the dimethyl group on that carbon atom is alternate or altered, exchange with this middle carbon atom, so that here the catapenic acid and camphenic acid both have the same reason. According to the Bredts rule, we can't generate double bond on the bridgehead carbon atom, and here these are some examples which can obey Bredts rule. Okay, but as I said, the Bredts rules are also violated by the ring size, different ring size we have. If the ring size is bigger and bigger, at that time that Bredts rule is violated, and we see there is a presence of double bond on that bridgehead carbon atom, but the ring size is very large. At that time there is no such a type of steric crowding, and there is formation of planar compound or planar geometry of that sp2 hybridized carbon atom. Okay, thank you.